Egypt is facing an employment crisis. Despite its 7.2% official unemployment rate, the actual number of Egyptians not working is much larger, according to the International Labour Organization, which reports that among Egypt's more than 100 million people, only 40% over the age of 15 are in the workforce, similar to the regional average for the Middle East and North Africa. Also similar is the root of the issue, which stems from impractical education. Among the employed 40%, or about 30 million people working in Egypt, many are underemployed, working in jobs that do not match their skills and for less pay. Young entrants into the workforce are graduating from learning institutions without the skills required by employers, especially in needed vocational or technical fields that are ready to employ capable students immediately after graduation. The skills gap in the labor market is gravely costing Egypt's economy, and especially local businesses. Cairo-based Nahdet Misr Publishing Group has felt the impact of unskilled labor firsthand. Struggling to find qualified employees to work its complex printing machines, it created its own solution.
They have to have a plan.
In 2016, the company's CEO, Dalia Ibrahim, founded the Nahdet Misr Printing Academy to train people in vocational skills to effectively work at her company. But she didn't stop there. Her company, which is now 84 years old, is looking to improve Egypt's overall education, working with ministries and NGOs to remodel Egypt's culture of learning. El Monitor sat down with the education reforming CEO to discuss what is needed to close Egypt's employment skills gap. Dalia, welcome and thank you for speaking to El Monitor.
It's my pleasure.
Your work with Nahdet Misr Publishing Group expanded from publishing books to education reform in Egypt. Can you tell me why that was necessary?
Yeah, actually, there is a huge gap in the technical and vocational training and education. So we have a lot of people. The population is very high in Egypt, and at the same time there is a very high unemployment, and there is a need for good employees in the companies, and there is a huge need in the industries to have good caliber from the technical side, from the professional side. So we have to close this gap.
The official unemployment number in Egypt is about 7.2%. Does that mean that about 93% of people are gainfully employed in Egypt?
The point of statistics in Egypt is a bit difficult, because we have several issues. The first thing, that not everyone announces what they are doing. We have a lot of people who just work without recording what they are doing. A lot of trade that is happening that is not even recorded. They don't have taxes that you cannot catch and you cannot calculate. So the exact figure, I'm not sure it is an accurate one. I believe it's much, much higher.
So even with the people employed, are they skilled enough to be able to do those jobs?
Sometimes when I meet fresh grads, they have to interview or go through 100 CVs in order to get a short list of 3 or 4 to go through the normal process of selection. So this means that the fresh grads are not skilled enough. For this also, there are a lot of programs either through private sector or through the NGOs that train the graduates to get them ready for the jobs. Mm-hmm. And this is a big issue.
So there's a gap between graduation and actually being employed and getting a job.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is from one side. And from the other side, even when you want people, middle managers or top managers, if you want a really very professional people, it's very hard to find them, because most of them, they just travel to work in different countries, and the people who are in Egypt are not so much that a lot of companies can recruit them.
In the situation that you just described, can you explain why that mindset exists of some people leaving the country versus the less qualified people may be staying and then creating this gap in the market? What is the cause of this?
I believe that there is a very important concept that people must think of, which is the continuous learning, continuous development. This is the key. If we think that what we are going to study at school or at university, or even reaching a PhD level, and then that's it, we have done it all, unfortunately, this is not right. So you have to integrate different skills and different knowledge in your same job in order to be different and be successful. Unfortunately, this mindset, to a great extent, is missing for the people living in Egypt. They have to change this. And actually, this is what the new minister have been doing it for the last 5 years, is to change the concept of studying to enjoying learning. Because it's not going to end by K to 12 or by university. It's going to be a whole journey for your life.
Are they more hireable, do you find, when they have this type of mindset, or more capable of doing the jobs that they're being hired for?
Yes, actually, there is a new trend. We have fresh grads who work on themselves. They make internships during the university level, and they study a lot of courses online. So when you interview them, they are really amazing. It is not just that they are fresh grads. No, they have a lot of experience, and they are updated with different learning material about different concepts. So these people, you recruit them immediately, and we give them a different salary. We give them the highest rate in the scale of this position. It's not only the experience I have by myself, but it's across Egypt, because these people are very rare and they are very significant.
In 2021, you founded Ta'heel, which focused on vocational training for Egyptians, working with governments and ministries and private companies as well to realize the importance of training people in this area. Can you tell me, why is it so important to train people in vocational fields?
Actually, we felt this earlier in our company. We have a huge printing house, and it was very difficult to get a skilled caliber who can work with very expensive machines. So we decided that we have to start by ourselves, to serve ourselves, by having a school inside our printing house, certified from the government, 3 years school from grade 10 to grade 12. And we started this journey to fulfill first our needs in our industry or our factory. And we now have 600 students per year in the school. And also we have been developing a lot of curriculums for the Ministry of Education in the last 3 years, vocational education material for the Ministry of Education. But we decided that the gap is too big, that we have to have a dedicated company for this. For this, we opened Ta'heel to support on 2 directions. On the students level from grade 10 to 12 and up to even 5 years, they can have an additional diploma of 2 years. And from the other side, small programs, 3 months to up to a year, very technical, and we got them an international body that helps us. It's called OPE. It's a Finland organization. It's number 1 in Europe. We work with them hand in hand to put the competencies, to put the curriculum, and to get the best skills required internationally for these students so they can work anywhere.
When it comes to the mindset of education in Egypt, why aren't people studying vocational type trades?
Because you have a lot of people who they think, the parents and the families, the culture is pushing people to go to university. You have to go to university. So the person should spend additional 4 years after school going to university, studying things maybe they're not of interest for them, or even if it is, they don't find enough job matching this, what they have studied. So they turn around and work in any job, making no use of the 4 years. So the country loses a lot of money that has invested in the universities, in the government universities, and the person lost the most precious thing, which is 4 years of his life or her life studying something that they are not applying. So this gap affects the economy, affects the person because of the cultural pressure. The government has to do from a bigger perspective, has to work from my point of view on 2 dimensions, through media and through education. On the media side, it's very important. Media has a magic effect on people. There must be continuous programs and videos and films and episodes about changing the mindset, that we should be happy with the person who studies vocational education properly, and they have a good job, they are very skilled, and they even have a good future because they can have a diploma and they go to university, and they can even have a master's degree. The ministry has opened a program for the private sector to support the ministry and the people by providing them a school, an old school, and the private sector funds this school with a proper infrastructure, with the equipment, and definitely with the curriculum, with the teachers, with everything, through a specialized company like Ta'heel. So Ta'heel helps the private sector, industries in different sectors, to provide them with the curriculum, teacher training, and get them the school ready and run the school even for them for years. We in Nahdet Misr Group, we decided also to donate in this field. We donated the school number 42, that we are responsible for the first green school in Egypt, specialized in tourism and hospitality.
What are your projections for the future when it comes to education in Egypt, the impact of education when it comes to training people in the right fields, and then the reflection of that on the job market? How do you see that, for example, in the next 5 to 10 years?
Actually, I am very optimistic about this. I see it very positive. There have been great initiatives on the ground, from the president supporting the Minister of Education to make a reform, which is really different. The mindset, the way the content is written, mainly is based on the skills and enjoying learning more than just memorizing. Because no way memorizing will take you anywhere. And this is the school level. And on the university level even, there are big projects now to reform the curriculums in the universities for the future teachers. So this for the school level, university level. On the other side, a lot of initiatives, part of them are some of our startups who are dedicating their work mainly for continuous development. We have 4 of our startups in our portfolio who are dedicated mainly to give the content online or physically, mentorship, coaching, to find the good job that suits you and to get trained through different programs like Coursera, etc. They are doing similar things but related to our region. And even training fresh grads on the ground to join the job market immediately. So I believe in 5 years we will have a real change in the mindset and a real change in the market, and the gap will get closer, and we have a lot of people traveling and working outside of Egypt, because this is even good for them and for the Egyptian economy too.
Dalia, this was truly insightful. Thank you so much for speaking to Al Monitor.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, and thank you very much.